Happy New Year, everyone. Today is going to be a delicious new episode where we're going to show you, ladies, exactly what to avoid when you're wanting to attract provider energy men that want to spoil you, that want to chase you, want to take you serious, and want to marry you.
And I'm Coach B for those of you who are just joining. Of course, former lifelong bachelor, found and married my beautiful wife, former single mom of four.
Yes. Hello, ladies. Happy New Year. We just got back from like the most amazing trip,
Yes.
so I'm still kind of on vacation mode. But that's okay. We had to jump into this because we've seen your ladies' questions, and a lot of you are like, what do I say? What do I do on these dates?
Yes.
What do I need to avoid? How do I vet him? How
Yes.
do I know he's a provider before I spend all this
Yes.
time going on a date with him, right? And so we understand. And for those of you that are new here, what's up? I'm Natasha. I was a single mama when I re entered the dating scene. I had 4 kids, and I called in and it was super intentional about the exact type of man I wanted to call in as a husband and a father for my kids. And that's exactly what I got. I got my Coach B here, and former lifelong bachelor, of
Yes.
course. And now we teach other women how to do the same thing. We have helped thousands of women. Last year alone, we had over 12 engagements and marriages. So we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's jump into this and I'm
Yeah.
excited. I know so many ladies
Yeah.
have questions, what to say, what to
Yes.
do.
Yep.
Let's help them out.
Yeah, and also just letting you ladies know that everything that we do and help our ladies with is from the perspective of really helping you master your feminine energy and your nervous system. That's your subconscious mind. That's that unconscious part of you that is running the show. So consciously, the 5% of you, you want that amazing husband. You want to be spoiled. You want princess treatment. You don't want the guy that breadcrumbs. You don't want to be stuck in a situationship, right? You want, like, you're a smart woman. If you're in our world, I already know this about you. You're super smart. You're beautiful, all those things. But subconsciously, 95% of you is based on what you've been programmed to. This is why so many people, even successful, wealthy celebrities,
Yeah.
beautiful people that look perfect, still struggle in the area of dating relationships.
Yes.
But that's why we're here. Yeah.
Let's jump into it because I have a lot of
Yeah.
stuff to help the ladies with today.
Okay, perfect. So the first thing, ladies, because we get asked this all the time, when you are first talking to a guy, do not drill him with a bunch of questions. So, and Coach B, maybe you can talk about this, but he just mentioned this on one of our videos where he's like, if you tell him that you're dating for marriage, which you can do that, he's going to tell you that he is also dating for marriage. But the most important thing, ladies, is that you are not listening to everything that he's telling you. You are watching what he does. But go ahead, babe.
No, that's so important because, ladies always ask, well, what do I say, Coach B? I can't ask him if he's dating. I can't let him know I'm dating for marriage. What do I say to him? And the thing is, so often ladies go into it with this list of questions, this list of things they want to talk about, just ready to get the answers because they don't want to waste time dating. They don't want to waste time going out on dates. I need to know all this at the beginning. And what happens when you do that? You start telling him stuff. You start listening to what he's saying, and it's like, you know what? He checked all the boxes, so let's move forward with this. But I'm telling you, even though you have conversations with him, even though he may find out that you want to date for marriage, you have to watch what he's doing. You have to watch him instead of listening to everything he says. And don't go in with a list of 20 questions with, let's get this out the way because, once we get this out the way, then I can open up or whatever. No, go in, have fun, get to know him. Of course, you have your list of negotiables and non-negotiables that's standard before you even decide to meet him if you met online, or that's standard before you decide to go out with him. But don't jump into it because he answered a couple of questions right, or because he responded, he smiled when you said that you're looking for marriage. He smiled at you and said he is too. No, don't move forward just because of that. So I have to say it that way. Because if I don't say it that way, then as soon as he tells you what you want to hear, you're going to jump all over him and you're going to, start planning the date in your head, the marriage in your head. You're going to think about how cute those kids are going to be. No, you have to watch a man, how he moves, what he does, how he is around people, maybe his family, women, what he talks about, what's normal to him, what's his day-to-day life, without you provoking or try to get answers out of him, without you saying, okay, what do you think about this? What does he naturally talk about? How does he spend his time? Yeah. Then you get a better feel for who he is. You'll never 100% know, okay, he's the right person, he's not the right person, off of one date, off of one conversation. So I want you to throw that out your mind. Don't think that you'll figure everything out from a man on the first date or first conversation. It's really watching what he does, watching how he lives, watching who's important in his life, watching what's important in his life, and you'll get a feel, and you won't have to have those questions. Yeah. You can have fun on a date getting to know him. And if it's something that you want to continue doing, continue, but not based on answers to questions only, but what he's doing in his life, and watching him is important.
Okay, so perfect example was in our scenario. And so we're not saying to never tell him what's important to you. You're still doing that. Like when we first started talking, he knew what was important to me. I did tell him I was dating for the purpose of marriage. And of course, like all guys.
So was I.
Yeah, so was he, right? He was ready. Oh, yeah, I'm ready, all this stuff, right? They're going to tell you all that stuff. Yeah. But the thing is with me, what was different, because I had done so much inner work and inner healing, I was observing how he was moving. I wasn't just listening to what he said. So that's the thing. It's not that you're guarded and you're skeptical when you're dating. You don't want to bring that energy either. But you're being authentically you. You're genuinely just getting to know somebody. But the most important thing that we want you ladies to catch is you are watching how he is moving. Yeah. Most women do this. Most women talk a lot, and you ignore what he actually does. Yeah. So you guys are talking a lot. You guys are talking about marriage. You're talking about all the things that you're interested in together. He's pursuing you hard. Now you're in love with him, or you have this chemistry with him because he's told you everything that that you want to hear. And so you're getting attached to him and all these things, and then you guys are getting more intimate together and all these things. Yes. And then and then he starts doing things that maybe are not in alignment with what you're calling in as from a husband. But then you're ignoring those things because you're just going based on what he's telling you, because he told you that he's never met anyone like you, and that he wants to marry you, and he wants to do all these things for you, and he's just figuring this out, and he just has to figure that out, and then before you know it, 6 months has gone by. Yeah. A year has gone by. Years have gone by. And you have ignored what he has been showing you, and you've just been listening to all the things that he's telling you. So you're not going to do that anymore, ladies. Okay?
Yeah. No, and it's so important because it'll be those moments in times where, okay, things are going well, we're enjoying our night, then maybe this is a good time to ask him. You don't want to ask in a moment where he feels, and you don't want to have these questions lined up anyway, like, are we together? What's going on? What are you looking? Because in those moments, what men understand is, I have to answer this way. All right. I have to give her the answer she wants, because if I don't, the night's over. If I don't, we can't move forward. That's why you don't want to go around with that question in your back pocket. Whenever you're talking about what you're looking for, you're not waiting on an answer from him. You're not saying, okay, I'm looking for marriage. What are you looking for? No, if it's part of your conversation and you throw it out there, great. But it's not based on his response, because what you're looking for and desiring is, you have your standards. That's who you are. But his response, or what he's looking for, doesn't have to line up for you to feel like, okay, now I can continue talking. No. Enjoy yourself. If it doesn't line up, if his actions don't line up with what you desire, because it's more about how he's living his life than it is about what he's saying. So if his actions don't line up, if he's not showing up on time, if he's not planning dates and following through, if he's not, and I talk about this often, if he's not calling you and reaching out to you to the point where you feel like he's, if you didn't like him, he would be a stalker, then you'll know that maybe he's not that into you. No, when men are around you and when you're out dating, and you can have a man's full attention, But what about when you're not together? What about, when he's doing his thing, when he's at work, when he's out with the guys? Is he thinking about you? Those are the things you want to look at, not just he treats you so good, he holds your hand when you're walking. You saw somebody on the street, he just introduced you. No, how is he? Does he miss you when you're not around?
Yeah.
Those things that matter, and you talk about that so much as well. Those things matter more than him telling you, I'm looking for marriage too.
That was so good. Yes, watch what he is doing, ladies. A man here, and honey, you can echo this.
Yeah.
A man that's really into you cannot go a day without talking to you.
Definitely.
Can you?
Yeah. I mean, we met.
Yeah.
We met back, a couple years ago, but once we started talking, and I think that was May of 2023.
Yeah.
Once we started talking, and I let her know that I wanted to date for marriage, we've talked or seen each other every day since then. We haven't missed a day.
Yeah.
I haven't missed a day.
Yeah.
Thankfully she's been available, even if it's been for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We've talked every day because I wanted to let her know
Yeah.
that I wanted to that I want to be with her,
Yeah.
that she's the one, that I'm thinking about her. I may not send her a text, didn't mean anything like, okay, I'm thinking about you. No, I had to let her know.
Yeah.
So it's almost overkill where it's like calling all the time, texting consistently every day. And that's something that I've been intentional about, and even into marriage, making sure you're giving that attention, because you don't want, as a man, when you're into someone, when you're married, you don't want anyone else to have that open door, that opportunity where, okay, you didn't let her know how you felt each and every day. And especially if you're not married, now she doesn't even know if you're into her.
Yeah.
Because, men, we know how women are more emotional than us, and we don't know what they've been through. We don't know what type of abandonment potentially that they've had, how other relationships. So we want to make sure we let you know that no matter what's happened in the past, we're here for you and we want to be with you. So we've talked every day since we started dating for marriage, and now married, and that's been over 2.5 years, I think.
Yes, he's still pursuing me. I love it.
Yes.
And also, ladies, if he's really into you, he's not going to leave you feeling confused. And I know you've spoken about that before. So just watch his actions. And then ladies are always asking too, how do I know he's a provider? How do I know he's going to pay for things? Watch what he does. Like, this is not something you have to ask a man. Just, you guys go out to eat. Is he paying the bills? Like, is he paying for food, right? That shows that he's a provider. Is he opening the door for you? Is he making sure you're good? Is he just like seeing if you need anything? Here's a big sign, right? You have an issue that's, maybe something needs to be fixed in the house. He's trying to come up with a solution for you. Watch what he's doing. This is why you want to be rotationally dating, ladies, so that if the one guy that you're dating doesn't really seem to care that you have something broken in your house and you need help, or your tire's flat, or you're out to eat and he's not paying to the basic meal, that's data for you. That's data for you, ladies. So that brings me to my second point. Biggest mistake that you are not going to be doing moving forward in dating or relationships is getting attached too early with men. Now, I'm seeing a question already pop up, and she said that she called in a provider man, and she's so scared to lose him. How do I keep one?
Well,
Okay.
Before you go into it, because I want you to respond.
This is perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when you already are in the energy of what do you need to do, right? That's that chasing energy. And what that causes you to step outside of your boundaries potentially, step outside of things that you have in place. So now he's at an advantage. He has all the leverage in the world. He can go out and do whatever he wants to, because you're more scared of losing him than he's scared of losing you. Then he's worried about you losing you. So if he's going out with the guys, if he doesn't call, if he doesn't follow through, he's going to be okay, because he's a provider, because he has money. In most cases, that's what that is. Because he has money, now it's like, whatever I need to do to keep this, because I don't want to lose this, what he brings to the table. So men feel that. Men sense it. Men know that you're moving out of a place of desperation, and men are going to treat you accordingly, where now you're not a priority, because, as I always say, you're the for show.
Yeah.
You're the for sure. He knows no matter what he does, you'll be there because he's a provider. And now you'll be chasing him. You'll always be trying to prove yourself to him because you don't want to lose him. And he's on the other side doing whatever he wants. Doesn't feel like he has to commit to you. He'll usually never ask that type of woman to move forward in marriage. You'll be around, but you'll be the one pursuing him, and he'll be out doing whatever he does. You'll continue to forgive him. You'll continue to make excuses for him because you don't want to lose him. And that's in most cases when you walk around with that type of energy.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. Okay, so if you struggle with this, and there's no shame here, I mean, you're here to learn and get healing, right? But if you struggle with this, where you have that needy energy, that fear of abandonment, that's what it is. That's the root of it, is there's a fear of abandonment there, and it gets triggered. It gets triggered by men, it gets triggered by money, it gets triggered by, just opportunities, friends even. That is a pattern you are playing in that you need to heal. That's how you get out of that. When you're asking, well, how do I keep this one? You keep this one, it's him or something better, by healing that abandonment wound. Because otherwise, if you don't, that's a love block. It actually is a love block. Because he could be the greatest guy, but exactly what Coach B is saying, they can feel your energy and they will mirror your energy. And so if you're embodied in this energy of, I don't want him to leave, I don't want to lose him, you're already in that frequency of lack and abandonment, and people will mirror that back to you. It's that needy, desperate, chasing energy. So what I encourage my ladies to do that are struggling with this, who get attached really, really easily, there's two things. The number one thing, the most important thing, is getting healing, which is, of course, what a big thing that we do in the Feminine Energy Academy, where I get you to take all this energy that you're using mentally, emotionally chasing him, which is what you've done already. You're already emotionally attached to him. You're already mentally, emotionally chasing him. That energy is coming towards him. You need to pull that energy back and then redirect it to your healing. Because when you heal that pattern, you all of a sudden are going to feel so detached, so unbothered, so confident, so like there's no needy, desperate energy anymore. And because you're like that, where you're just like, whatever, may the best man win, because you're in that energy, men become obsessed with you. Men just want to date and marry you. Yeah. He's going to be trying to make sure he doesn't lose you, which is how it should be. A man should be trying to prove himself to you, to show you that, how amazing he is. Yep. Remember, he's the sperm. He's the one competing and chasing. You as a woman should never, ever be in that competing, chasing, let me prove myself to him so I don't lose some energy ever. You will never, ever attract or be able to hold on to a healthy masculine provider man if you're in your own sperm chasing energy. Okay. So that's the first thing. The second thing you got to do is, and this is what I tell all my ladies, is don't get exclusive with these guys right away. You should be, rotationally dating. I don't know if you're going to do that because it sounds like you're already really hooked on this guy. But at the very least, get some healing. But for my new ladies that are new in the dating scene, this is why you rotationally date. You rotationally date until the right guy steps up that is ready for marriage. Not the right guy that steps up that wants you to be exclusive with him. Right. Because there'll be a lot of guys like that. But the reason why you have to do that, ladies, is because you are running on a different timeline than men. And if he wants you to be exclusive with him and you're like obsessed with him, you're going to be exclusive with him. Then all of a sudden he's going to be pulling away. He's going to be dragging his feet. He's not going to be stepping up consistently. And now you're exclusive with him. You don't want to lose him. And now you've wasted time that you could have been dating a guy, a really great guy that was actually ready to marry you.
Yes. And just even adding to the point on rotational dating is so important, not only for him, but for you to do it. Because like you just mentioned, it's so easy for women to fall in like or fall in love with someone. And now, you found that perfect guy. Now he gets all your time. He gets all your energy. But the one thing he hasn't done is everything that someone who's married has gotten. He gets your time. You cook for him. He stays over there. He has his own key to the house. You might as well say he's married to you without the ring. And you move into that quickly. So what it does for you is it allows you to See if this is the one by his actions. See if he's the one for you. And for him, it allows him to know that he doesn't just get your time. He doesn't just get your energy whenever he wants it. He can get it in doses, but he can't just get it. He can't just call you up and tell you he's on his way, or he can't just tell you he's outside, open the door, things like that. So it's important not to sleep with these guys when you're rotationally dating, but it's important that the guy knows that until he makes that commitment, and you don't have to tell him, you don't have to go around just shouting it like, well, you got to commit to me first. Because again, when you start moving in that energy, now he's going to make that commitment, whatever it needs to look like. You have to show in how you're giving him your time that he has to do more than just, buy you something or call you to get exactly what he wants. So that allows the guy to know that. And guys that are healthy, masculine energy men, if they're looking to be with you, they'll step up. If they're not looking for that right now, they'll naturally step back, save you time, save you energy, and you didn't have to say anything. You just had to move a certain way. And men show themselves, because in most cases, men aren't really super patient. So if you're not moving how a man wants you to move, and you're not giving him what he wants, a lot of men will step back. And on the other side, if you're not giving him what he wants, he'll step up and say, okay, I have to move this relationship forward. We have to get married. We have to do whatever it takes, because this isn't going at my pace. So you have so much control, but it's with your energy and with what you're doing, not only with what you're saying.
That's so good.
Yes.
Ladies, you can start dropping your questions. I'm going to get to my third point in a minute. But everything that we're talking about, we specialize in the Feminine Energy Academy. We help you not only heal these patterns energetically, because you don't get what you want, you get what you're embodied in. Ladies, that's really important. So if you're not happy with the type of guys you've been attracting, they're not showing up consistently for you, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling stressed, I encourage you to get healing around your attachment patterns and your energy, so that you can attract the type of guy that you actually desire to show up consistently for you. And then also, getting the actual dating skills, actually get dating strategy. So you're not just repeating the same patterns because you haven't learned how to talk to men. Yeah. You haven't learned how to date properly. You don't even know how to have a healthy relationship or a healthy marriage, because maybe you haven't seen it before. Yes. Okay, so I invite you to do that. Of course, we have a free trial, so you can jump in, you can binge watch for free today, and get some of the skills and the healing that you need today. Okay, and then last but not least, another mistake that you are not going to be doing moving forward in dating or relationships is you're not going to be experiencing dating fatigue. Dating fatigue. A lot of women that we coach end up getting something called dating fatigue. You can let us know in the comments if you can relate to this. So dating fatigue is when you're talking to a bunch of different guys, maybe on the dating apps. You're going on different dates with these guys, you're doing dinner dates with these guys, and maybe it's not going anywhere, and then you get discouraged, and then you're like, I hate dating, and then you're like, I'm just not going to do this anymore. Or you just end up settling for a situationship, right? Because it's just easier and it's just comfortable to be in that situationship, even though he's not your husband, he's not showing up like your husband, providing, protecting you, claiming you publicly with a ring on your finger, but you're willing to settle for it because it feels a lot better than having to date again, right? And so the reason why you don't want to do that, ladies, having these pseudo relationships, because it's not real, right? You feel like you're getting that attention from that guy, but he's actually blocking your husband that's meant for you. And the reason why you're having dating fatigue is because you don't have dating strategy. So for a lot of women, they haven't had help with their dating profile. They haven't done any inner healing work. They haven't done any energy work. They have no clarity what they're calling in. And then they just show up on the dating apps and they talk to all these guys. You don't know how to talk to the guys properly, right? And then you don't know how to actually date properly. And then that's what makes it exhausting. You're going on dates, dinner dates with guys that you don't really know. That's draining. That's absolutely draining. You do not need to be going dinner dates with guys that you don't know. Like, have some strategy here, babe, so you don't get burnt out and exhausted, especially if you're a single mom like how I was. I was a single mom. I had my businesses. I was a single mom with 4 kids. There was no way I was going to have all this time and energy just to be dating random guys, right? And I was super, super specific with who I was calling in. We dated internationally, but because I had strategy, I didn't burn myself out. And that's what we teach our ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy.
And the thing is, we have so many smart ladies that watch us, that listen to us in our Feminine Energy Academy as well. So what happens coming in, it's like, okay, you've been able to figure so many things out. So you're like, okay, in this area, it's just the guy. You know, it's the wrong guy. You know, I won't do that one again. And then you go out, okay, he looks different, he talks different, but you're attracting the same type of guy. What it comes down to is really being coachable and understanding in this area. The reality is you haven't gotten the results that you desire to get in this area. So now it's time to get new information. We do it so often at work. We do it so often when it comes down to many areas. It can be with our kids, learning new ways to approach them, new ways to relate to them. But in the area of relationship, we have to get to that point as well where we understand that in most cases, we need to make the adjustments. It's not about the guy. The guy is who they are. The guy, he is who he is. It's nothing, it's nothing that you want to try to change in him. The only thing that you can change is the way you approach it, the way you see it, the information that you have around understanding men. First, understanding yourself, then understanding men and how men move. So when you get that understanding, now you become one of the 12, 13 women that got engaged, married last year in the Feminine Energy Academy because you make small tweaks, but you have to look internally and say, what do I need to do differently? Because you keep attracting these different guys. You don't have a problem. We have this with so many of the ladies as well. You don't have any problem attracting so many guys. Guys just want to take you out. They want to buy you stuff. So you say they want to spoil you. No, they want to buy you stuff. They want to see you. But these guys don't want to commit to you, or these guys aren't healthy guys that want healthy relationships. So it comes down to you making the adjustment, saying, okay, what type of coaching do I need? Coach Tosh, what do I need to do? I'm open. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to do it verbatim and not come in with my own ideas, because up to this point, and it was the same with me, I had things that I needed to work on up to the point until I got 43, 44, it wasn't working. I had to do something different. I had to listen to different information. So when you get to that point, that's when you see things change. But when you're still at the place where I make good money, people listen to me, I'm the boss, I know what I need to do, even though I'm 35, 40, 45, 50, and I'm still not where I want to be in every relationship, until you make that change, you'll find yourself encountering the same type of guys, the same type of situationships, and the same type of frustrations because you haven't made that internal change.
That's so good, honey.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a couple questions there for you.
I can start with the question. Says, how can you tell the difference between he enjoys talking to me and genuine romantic interest based on actions rather than words?
Good question.
Well, that's simple. A guy who enjoys talking to you rather than a guy who's romantically interested in you. Guys that enjoy talking to you, it's more about convenience. It's more, he's not really always trying to plan stuff out. He doesn't need to see you. He might want to hook up, but you're not at the top of his list of someone that he has to see. He has to talk to about things that matter, that he's talking about potentially future. He's saying he's saying us. He's talking about, potentially where he wants to live, asking you questions about where do you see yourself living, things like in that nature. When you're just someone he enjoys hanging out with, he'll talk about, he wants to get to the bed. Everything is leading to the bedroom. He's not, he doesn't have time for the small talk. Maybe he'll call you, check in on you, but it's not really with the future in mind. It's about the present and the present only. When you tell him no, he gets upset. He's not in it for the small talk. He's not in it to really get to know who you are as a person. It's about, what are you doing today? Okay, are you available later? You're not? Okay, phone calls are maybe a lot shorter and not really in depth. So men that are serious about you talk a lot more about the future, talk a lot more about, what you're looking for in life. Men that just enjoy spending time with you are talking a lot about the present and hanging out. Hanging out is one of the big words. Let's hang out, let's do something today. it's not really about anything moving forward.
So good, honey.
Did you want to add to
No,
it?
no. Well, actually, while you're getting the other question
Yes.
ready, I would say if that's a pattern for you, ladies, that's data for you. If that's a one-off, don't worry about it,
Yes.
okay? But if it's a pattern where you tend to attract men that just want to just be friends, not really friends,
Yes.
but they want to fool around with you. They
Yeah.
don't want to take you seriously. They don't want to show up seriously for you. Then I encourage you to get healing and stop playing in that pattern. Because when you shift that pattern within you first, the type of people that you're going to start attracting will be completely different.
Yeah.
Because everyone around you is mirroring your energy. That's it. So you don't have to get upset, get mad. It's not that you're living in the wrong city or anything like that. It's your energy and it's how you're showing up. And also sometimes it's just you don't have that awareness of how to talk to men. So that's a big thing that we teach our ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy. So you're not friend zoned or situationship zoned.
Yes.
A lot of the ladies that have come to us, they were in these places, but now they're engaged and married because they've skilled up and they've shifted their energy that they were playing in, and the men mirror it back to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good. So what happens if he shows you he's all what you prayed for in a husband, but he gets scared and recluses due to an issue from a prior marriage? How do I react accordingly?
Yeah.
So with that, if he's showing
Yeah.
you, and then I'll let you answer
Yeah.
it because I know you're ready for
Well,
it.
that's a common scenario that our ladies deal
Yes.
with.
Yeah. So if he's showing you that he's all that you prayed for, and I'm giving you the male response, I'm giving you the logical answer, but he has some issues from a prior marriage, then really it sounds like he's not what you prayed for totally. He's not in that place where he's dealt with some things in the past that need to be dealt with. He may be a great guy, he may be a provider guy, but any guy that hasn't dealt with issues that's holding them up to move forward, and a prior marriage is something that you don't want to play with. If he's still dealing with that, then continue to, if that's someone that you see yourself potentially like, man, this is perfect. I know you talk about it as well. Like, I was someone that she saw like everything looked great, but just one thing didn't line up. So you can talk about it, but she decided to move on.
Yeah.
Right. So if that's the case, you can pray for him, but you don't want to try to convince him. You don't want to try to work with him, help him work through it. No, allow him the space to do what he needs to do. But you have to continue to rotationally dating. You can conversate with God like, I thought he was the one. I don't know what happened, but you have to move on from him and allow him the space to deal with those challenges from the previous marriage, because he won't be able to work through them with you. You'll find yourself in a similar situation with him if you move forward in a relationship with him as well.
Yes, exactly. Ladies, oh my gosh, this is such a common scenario. And you being a good-hearted woman, you want to give him the benefit of the doubt because you
Yep.
see his potential, you're in love with his potential, you see all the great qualities that he has, and then so you wait it out. But ladies, that's how you shoot yourself in the foot. Just because he's amazing and he has all the qualities you want in a husband, but if he is not ready to be your husband. So you need to move on. We went through that exact scenario. Met Coach B. He was everything that I had called in, right? But he also had a failed engagement previously, right? And so I recognized that. I recognized his self-sabotaging patterns. I recognized that he wasn't fully stepping up. So instead of waiting around, I cut it off. And I was just like, you know what? I think you're amazing, but I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. Have a nice life.
Yeah.
I wasn't triggered. I wasn't waiting around
Right.
hoping that he would figure out, his avoidant patterns. No.
Let me walk you through these.
I wasn't trying to coach him like, oh, you need some childhood wound
Right.
healing. You need Jesus,
Right.
you need to heal that wound from your ex-fiance. I was
Right.
like, no, like, okay, I think you're amazing, but obviously it's not the right time, so
Yep.
have a nice life. And then cut off access to me. He doesn't get to have access to me. That's how you got to see yourself as a woman. Men don't just get access to you. If you have very low self-confidence and low self-esteem as a woman, doesn't matter if you're beautiful or not, you're going to allow men to have access to you even when they don't deserve it. But you as a woman, when you heal that in you and you understand your worth, you understand your feminine energy is potent, is life-giving, is expensive. You're not just going to give it to any guy. And if he's not ready because he's still dealing with the crap from his divorce, okay, have a nice life, dude. Like, great. Don't allow him
Yep.
to block your husband who has put the time in, who has done the inner work, who has prepared himself to be a husband. And it could be your perfect husband. Don't allow this other guy to block your husband from finding you. Okay, that was a word for somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can tell when you get passionate about it.
Yes.
Hey, you woke her up now,
Well,
so.
and let me just add one more thing. Also, ladies, because our situation, I did cut him off,
Yeah.
but sometimes that's what men need. Right? A lot of times that's what they need, where they just,
Yeah.
because that's worked with other women, and then and they've gotten away with
Yeah.
it, and that's why there's lifelong bachelors, right? And then you come along and you're like, no, you don't get access to me anymore. Have a nice life. Then all of a sudden he's like, wait a minute, I'm actually over this. I've gotten the therapy, I've gotten the healing, and I'm ready to be a husband.
And it comes
Yeah.
down to you just trusting God. If you really
Yes.
feel like God has brought him in your
Yeah.
life, you have to allow God to do what he needs to do, and creating that space for him
Yeah.
in cases where that is the one potentially for you, then that allows God to speak to him and allows him to look within himself and say, okay, well, what's out here isn't what I want.
Yeah.
So let me run back to you because you're the person I want to be with. And in most cases, when they come back, if they've done any healing, they'll come back. I mean, they come back with clear motives. It's not,
Yes.
you don't have to wonder. They come back telling you specifically and showing you specifically what they want. Things move so quickly. When I came back, we were married within 11 months. We were engaged in 8 months, and 3 months later, we were married. That was after she took a 6 to 8 month break from me, and she told me that she was moving on with her life. I came back knowing exactly what I wanted, and we jumped the broom and got married in less than a year. So,
Yeah.
not that it has to be him, but you allow God to open that door for the right man to come. And just adding this one thing before we move on to the next question. Most healthy masculine energy men that know what they want, that are ready to move forward, they'll be asking you to be their wife in the first 3 to 6 months. They already know it's nothing to wait on.
Yeah.
Let's move forward. And they'll be wanting to get married to you within the first year minimum. Most men don't drag it out if they know you're the one. So if he's been dragging it out, it's been a couple years, he still may marry you, but you have to ask yourself, is he ready? Is he someone that's looking at me as the top priority?
Yeah.
Or am I the for show? Because men marry for shows as well. If they're just tired, okay, I just have someone to go home to. So you have to make sure you position yourself to be the one that he desires and not a fallback.
Yes. Oh, that's so good.
Yes.
Ladies, and you have to be the one to decide that, because otherwise men will drag things out. And we
Yeah.
see this all the time. And then we're coaching women and they need healing because the guy wasn't ready.
Yeah.
He was showing her he wasn't ready, but
Yeah.
you don't want to see that. And so you stay in a situationship with him, but then you end up getting hurt even more because he's, with other women, or he's just not showing up properly for you. Don't put yourself through that, ladies. Not this year. Maybe the old version of you did that, but moving forward, no. You are seeing this for a reason, because you need to step into that new identity, that new timeline reality where you don't tolerate these things anymore, okay? And you're not going to try to convince him. You're going to walk away and you're going to get healing so you can attract the right guy that's actually ready to give you that princess treatment and to marry you.
Yeah, we're going to get to a couple questions. I smell the smell good that you got yesterday.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Yes,
My new
yes.
Tom Ford perfume.
Yes, I smell it. It's all on you.
My husband got me perfume for his birthday.
Right.
It was amazing. It was a great surprise.
Let's move to the next one. So, how can a woman remain feminine and engaging without slipping into waiting mode or trying to control the dynamic? You can answer that one.
That's a really, really great question. Well, just because you're feminine doesn't mean you don't have boundaries, right? So you still have boundaries. We still want to have masculine structure boundaries within ourselves. So we need our masculine structure boundaries within ourselves, and we need to be in our fun feminine energy where we're totally detached. So this is why it's so important for you as women to get energetic clarity, know your boundaries and your standards before you start dating. So you don't just fall into a relationship and now that's what women do. I'm falling in love.
Right.
Don't fall into love. Walk into love.
Right.
I walked into love with him. I didn't fall in love with him. I chose to allow myself, when he showed up properly, I allowed myself to be in love with him. And that was a very conscious decision. ladies, because most women are just like in this needy, desperate energy. Okay, I'm being in my feminine, attracting men. They're not showing up consistently. They're breaking boundaries, and then what? Right? So for you, it's like deciding ahead of time, getting clarity ahead of time. What are your non-negotiables ahead of time, so you don't allow yourself to get hormonally bonded to the wrong guy, and you call it love, but really it's a trauma bond.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know that ahead of time, and then while you're dating, while you're rotationally dating, you're not getting attached to the guy, and so that he's earning that vulnerability, he's earning that place in your life. That is what actually allows you to stay in your feminine. You will not be in your feminine energy unless you feel safe in your nervous system. And you will not feel safe in your nervous system as a woman until you've done your healing. So you're not anxious, right? Anxious, stressed, in that, fear of loss energy. And you can hold your boundaries. If you struggle with holding boundaries, then you're not going to really be in your feminine. So I encourage you to get healing, which of course is what I do with the ladies.
We'll answer a couple of more questions. And if we don't get to your questions, jump into the Feminine Energy Academy. Right now we have a free trial. You can ask all the questions you want. You can join our master class this upcoming Saturday.
This
You
Saturday
can
coming.
binge, listen, and watch all the audios and the videos that we have in there. Just thousands of dollars worth of information. And you get access to us where once you get in there, you can just jump and let Coach Tasha know why you joined. She'll answer herself. There's no robot or anything answering. She'll respond to you and kind of help guide you on what next steps you need to take. But most of the stuff we talk about is just to make you aware of it. We're not able to go super deep on here and give you all the solutions. We can kind of give you what we know from what you're telling us, but we want to go so much deeper with you to be able to help you so you can make better decisions moving forward. So so definitely jump in. Let's answer a couple more questions. Did you want to add anything before that?
That's perfect.
So my provider is talking about future plans. Great. But, big but, at the same time, he's conflicted by then saying it would be years before introducing me to his kids.
Ooh.
What do I do about this? So the thing is, he doesn't sound conflicted. He sounds clear. He sounds clear, and he may want to be with you. He may want to be around you. He may want to have a situationship with you. But in no way does he see himself committing to you and you only and bringing you into his life fully. So he let you know that. And when I say bring you to his life fully, if he doesn't want to introduce you to his kids, that's just a sign that he doesn't want to introduce you to his life. And that's okay. That's not an issue. It's nothing you should do about it, but say, okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know this. Now you can continue rotationally dating. You can continue doing the work you need to do to make space for your husband. He's not ready to be that, and that's okay. So he gave you the answer right away. So it's nothing to be conflicted about, nothing to be upset about. Thank him, move on, position yourself for your husband.
Yeah, because a man wants to show you off. If a man is hiding you as a woman to anybody, unless he's protecting you, against somebody that's toxic and abusive, then that's different. But if he doesn't want to show you off loud and proud publicly and to his family, then you as a woman, you need to move on, because otherwise you're going to feel shame within yourself. Why is my husband hiding me? Right? And then what? So, and trust me, because we coach women that are married that have to deal with stuff like this. And then it's family gatherings. You got to think about this: Christmas, Thanksgiving. What, you're going to stay at home and he's going to go out? Right? These are the things that you got to think about ahead of time. So I don't care what he says to you. I don't care how much money he gives to you. If you do not want to be with a man that wants to keep you separate from his life, because that's just going to cause you a lot of shame, a lot of heartache, and a lot of conflict in the relationship.
That's a sign. So please run right now.
We'll
get
last
to
one,
this
and then I gotta go.
Yes.
And it's Jazz.
It's
She's in our FEA.
Jazz in the FEA want to get to hers. How can we know if we are sexually compatible if we are abstaining until marriage? And I'll answer it first, but I want you to go into detail with it. So for women, it's not about being physically sexually compatible as much. It's about how you feel about him, because that's where you start connecting with him from that place. Now, a man, of course, we're about what we see, what we like, but the physical part of being sexually compatible is the last part.
Yeah.
Right? You want to make sure this person is a provider. This person is walking in this masculine energy.
Yeah.
And you can go into detail more with it. When that's the case, then you become sexually attracted to that man. And it takes men always, men are the ones that fall in love quickest, right? Men want to be with you. Men, we see what we want. We like it. Women, it takes more time. So even on the sexual side, it's not about jumping in a bed with him, because it'll be an empty feeling in most cases for a woman if you don't really care about that guy and want to be with him. But it's about him showing himself to be a provider, and then that part of it comes automatically. But can you go into it?
Yeah. Oh man, there's so much I want to unpack here. I mean,
Yes.
that's a really great question, because a lot of people do ask that question. And so you got to ask yourself, where is this coming from? Is it a thing where it's like, oh, I want to make sure we have really great seg? Okay. So there's guys you could have really great seg with, but he's not showing up, as a provider, protector, husband, right? And a lot of times, if you haven't healed that in you, you're looking for that excitement. You're looking for that chemistry. You want that hot feeling, that chemistry, butterflies, great seg feeling. Right? And a lot of times it's coming from a wounded place. And so you can have that with a lot of guys. Just look at your history. The guys that you had great seg with. And then where did that lead to? Probably nowhere great, right? You guys weren't married. And then the guy that is actually healthy, that is actually healed, who actually shows up consistently, he feels boring. Maybe you're not as attracted to him. Or maybe it's like, oh, the seg. I don't know about the seg. Is the seg going to be good? You as a woman, when you are healed in your feminine as a woman, you bring that chemistry into the bedroom. You guys can teach each other what you like, right? Those are things that you can learn, but you can't teach him good character. You can't teach him to show up consistently for you. You can't teach him to be so obsessed in love with you where he just wants to make sure you're good every day in the dating phase and the married phase. Pick a guy like that first, and then in the bedroom, you guys, there's so many different things you can do to spice it up in the bedroom, okay? Yeah.
Yeah. So if we didn't get to your question, definitely jump into the Feminine Energy
Yeah.
Academy. I saw a couple that we missed. I think it was, a couple questions we missed. But jump in there. We'll help you out. We'll answer your questions. But
Yes, and can I mention one more thing?
Oh, definitely. Go right ahead.
So this Thursday, we have a live coaching in the Feminine Energy Academy with Coach B. He's in there, so he can actually coach you through this more. And then on Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, we have a dating and marriage masterclass, and that's when we both will be there, and we can really coach you and work through some of these questions with you. So you can jump in right now for free. You can binge watch our content and the training, the healing, the strategies, and then you can also ask us a question and get actual coaching this week from us. But anyway, we love you so much, and have an amazing day.